The Gamer Bros have been angered by pronouns. Really, pronouns.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Pronouns!
Very quickly before we get started, I just want to shout out Pod the Little Pride Dino. The campaign has been extended for a little bit longer, so if you do want a little Puddy Pride plush, then you can go click the link in the description box. Oh yes. Hey Spuds, it's Jamie, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. If that's on your channel, I don't know, but welcome either way. And today we are looking at angry gamers. Gamers who are angry and expressing their anger, and their transphobia is showing very strongly through their expression of this anger and why they're angry. So I'm really going to show myself as not somebody who's very up to date in the gaming world. I like gaming, I do gaming, but I don't keep up with like the most current release games. And there is this new one called Starfield, which is apparently quite a big deal and people have been waiting for it and are very excited about it. Amazing. But something that has kind of been involved in the release of the game and has taken over news about it a little bit is some people not being happy in the character choice and character decision making in your own character in the game. People are not happy because pronouns apparently exist. Oh my goodness, how dare the pronouns exist in gaming land? They don't exist in the real world, do they? So why do we have them in games? Ugh. Basically, from what I can gather, Starfield lets you create your character in some way. I don't know how detailed it is, but part of that process is you do have the option to select the pronouns. It's not something that's forced upon you. Default pronouns are picked depending on some choices that you make with your character, but you are able to select the pronouns to be different if you want them to be. There as an option, right? No.
How dare they do this?
People are not happy. There's been several instances of gamers and people playing this game and streaming this game having a little bit of an angry moment over the fact that pronouns exist.
Pronouns!
And I'm feeling like pronouns in a game can't possibly be their first introduction to pronouns. They must use pronouns, right? They've heard of pronouns, they've seen pronouns, they've been introduced to pronouns, they've used pronouns to introduce themselves, I'm sure, on multiple occasions. But for some reason, the fact that pronouns are a very small part of this game, for like a tiny little bit of inclusivity, they seem to have a big meltdown over it. Oh no, this isn't allowed. We don't want pronouns in this context. So that we could just read a little article about it together, watch a little video about somebody having a meltdown over these pronouns, and just share our opinions. Angry gamer bros can't handle choosing pronouns in Starfield. I just have a vibe that these are the same types of people that turn around and say that LGBT plus people and trans people are the snowflakes and are overly sensitive, yet pronouns is their demise. Some gamers are livid that you can select pronouns in Starfield, including gender-neutral pronouns for custom characters. Is it the fact that there's specifically gender-neutral pronouns that they're getting mad? If it had been binary pronouns of just he, him, and she, her, that's okay, but we draw the line at gender-neutral. I don't know. Let's read on. Anti-woke. Oh, whenever I see anti-woke, I'm like, are you serious? Anti-woke gamers are livid about the ability to choose pronouns for custom characters in Bethesda's Starfield, because of course they are. Because of course they are. Why wouldn't they be livid about this tiny little bit of a game? I can't get my head around it. Like, I don't understand the energy required to get annoyed about something so inconsequential in your life. Something that doesn't matter to you, but would matter greatly to somebody who uses gender-neutral pronouns, or may want to have a custom character that reflects them, but the pronouns that would have automatically been assigned to that character wouldn't reflect them, and they just have the choice to change that now. It's such a tiny, tiny thing that nobody has to pay any attention to unless it's really meaningful to them in a positive way. How can it be meaningful to you in a negative way? I don't understand the level of sensitivity. Anyway, right-wing gamer bros vented about how unbelievably angry they are that a role-playing game allows you to select pronouns for your custom character after the space exploration game went live for pre-order customers on Friday, 1st of September. RPG space exploration. Great, I've learned a little bit more about this game. No, I did know that bit. From the award-winning studio of The Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, and Fallout 4, Starfield allows players to select they-them pronouns for non-binary characters, a function that drew particular ire from anti-LGBTQ+ streamers. Oh, so it is the gender-neutral they-them pronouns. I've also heard, isn't Skyrim also quite inclusive? That's something I've seen being said as well. It's like, well, if you're gonna have this big meltdown over Starfield, then where was this energy for Skyrim. And it's like, it's just because it's trendy right now, isn't it? For some reason, it's become trendy to be transphobic. Among certain circles, I mean, among like general population, it's really not. It's very uncool to be transphobic. Some use it as a chance to accuse modern video game publishers of shoving so-called woke ideologies, which apparently now include components of language, down the throats of gaming fans who just want to fire up a brand new RPG. It's not like you're switching on your console or your computer, plugging in that game. Oh, I sound really old. Playing that game, and then it's just going,
you must accept all trans people and all LGBTQ plus people in order to play this game. State that you do, and if you are lying, feel the wrath of the developers.
It's not forcing you to do anything. It's just you're having a character, and then they're like, here are your character's pronouns, because, you know, people in the game may need to interact with your character or talk about your character, and having pronouns would make that a lot easier. Streamers such as Herschel Guy Beam, IV, known by his online alias Dr. Disrespect, were enraged not only that the highly anticipated title featured pronoun options, but the head of publishing at Bethesda, Pete Hines, has pronouns in his X, formerly Twitter, bio. How dare... There is such an outrage over an integral component of language that people have never had an issue about before, but suddenly now that it's kind of, for some reason, pronouns have been equated with trans. Like, the two things have just been mushed together, and it's like, some people are completely blinkered to the fact that pronouns have existed completely separate from the trans community and trans people's use of pronouns. Trans people use pronouns, and cis people use pronouns. Everybody uses pronouns, and for some reason some transphobes have really latched on to pronouns as a thing to get really, really angry about when it comes to the trans community, kind of equating the two things and being like,
pronouns means trans means pronouns, I hate trans, so therefore I hate pronouns.
That's where this feels like it's going. But thank you, Pete Hines, head of publishing at Bethesda, for having pronouns in your bio. Beam, I'm not sure how to pronounce their name, dressed in his usual alter ego streaming gear of a red combat vest, black wig, and a pair of clay shooting protective glasses, complained that a planned sponsorship deal with Bethesda was rejected due to past controversies. He was suspended from live streaming platform Twitch in 2019 after he live streamed a public restroom at the E3 gaming convention in Los Angeles, California. Why? Why'd you film in a public restroom? Meanwhile, another streamer known as Heel vs Babyface embarked on a rant in which he claimed he was being dragged out of his immersive experience because he had to pick his pronouns once. Yes, he had to pick his pronouns. Oh dear, what a terrible thing. What I thought we could do now is watch this person's little clip of a rant and have a chat about it. Are you ready? So it starts with him playing the game.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off. Fuck that.
Serious. Headphones are coming off. This is a serious chat we're about to have.
Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world. Just think of all the planets I can visit. All the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go.
That's a lot. That is a lot to love and look forward to in a game. Like, clearly a very passionate gamer we have right here.
I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every conceivable opportunity so you can Aaron Dayers.
Well, that escalated quickly. So he's going on about how he really loves RPG games and getting lost in those worlds, but feels dragged out when the developers current day him. So I'm assuming that's the whole like
woke ideology
thing. Okay, what was it? I mean, we know what he felt dragged out by, right? But let's watch. Okay.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Pronouns!
I saw bits of this before making this video, and I honestly thought it was a joke. I looked into it to see if it was a joke and somebody being satirical, because I just can't imagine that a grown adult would get so irate about characters in a game having pronouns. It's such a minute element. Like, he described all these huge, big things that he loves about RPG games and about this game in particular, and the breadth of it and how excited he was to get immersed in that world.
Lose myself, think, oh my god, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go.
His anger, I don't know, his opinions, his transphobia is the thing that's dragged him out of that world, to only be able to focus on this teeny tiny little bit that happens right at the beginning when you're choosing your character. And just the way he shouts pronouns. Can we watch that again?
Pronouns!
It just sounds like a joke, but apparently he's being serious.
Gender ambiguity!
Oh, that gender ambiguity. Oh my god, yeah, no. Only gender stereotypes strongly adhered to. Binary genders here, thank you. I mean, yeah, probably. My big question is just like, really, other than just shouting about it and like going on and ranting about woke ideology and feeling like things are shoved down your throats and this tiny weeny like 0.1% of a game is dragging you out of the rest of it that you were so excited about, why the anger? Where is this anger coming from? It confuses me so much.
Current day Californian shit!
Current day Californian shit. Can confirm pronouns, gender ambiguity, gender nonconformity, LGBTQ plus people, including trans people, exist outside of California. If they didn't, then I wouldn't exist. I'm not in California.
Because that's all we know! Because we're boring! We're so boring!
The level of anger is actually really uncomfortable. He cannot shout loud enough. He's so riled up about this. Is this like genuine anger? Because I feel like he's... It's what? I don't know why I feel bad about being rude, but I do. I don't want to sound rude, but just like the energy this is giving me is when like a child does not know how to fully express their feelings, so just absolutely like screams as loud as they can about something that doesn't quite make sense, and you're like, but what's wrong? Like, what's the problem? Let's have a chat about it. Like, let's kind of explore our feelings rather than just like shouting about something. You're boring if you like pronouns, apparently, or use pronouns. Maybe you don't even have to like them. Do you think he doesn't use pronouns? I'm sorry. The dramatic pauses are also getting me.
Can't see past our own fucking reflection.
I mean, not if you're looking at a mirror. How do you see past? We are solid things. We are not transparent.
That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company.
They're narcissistic because they allowed you to choose pronouns of a character. That leads to narcissism. Okay.
Your immersion, you having a good time, you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, current day.
He's making it sound like this is some personal vendetta they have against anti-woke people. Like it's a deliberate attempt to ruin the game for him, where it's not. It's not.
Off! You're boring! You're dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle!
Dead. Twat waffle. Oh my god. Isn't that word quite rude? Not the waffle bit. Quite rude in the States. It's not like a major swear word in the UK. I've never heard an adult person say twat waffle as an insult in a serious, genuine way. I just feel like here's nothing to say though. It's saying like the fact that you gave my character pronouns and then gave me the option to change those pronouns pulled me out of the immersive experience that you created. Therefore, you are boring and dull and you're a twat waffle. There's not really much of substance being said.
That's all you are!
A twat waffle.
And you wonder why people are getting so sick and tired! You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, crap, ideology into everything!
Oh, wow. Hold on. I struggle to believe that somebody is actually genuinely this angry over pronouns in a game. It's clearly something that he's looked forward to for a long time. It's from a developer that he's heard of and probably played games from before, and he seems to have a real anger towards Bethesda specifically, calling them boring and dull and a twat waffle and narcissistic, and saying that they're shoveling the shit of, I'm assuming, like trans and like gender ideology, which I don't know why people call it that. It's not an ideology, into their games and into their faces. I really struggle to see where this level of anger is coming from. Why such a tiny element of the game has completely pulled him out of the immersion and the enjoyment of it. That's very unexpected. I think even if you're a bit like, not really on board with this, you'd then just like move on. You'd just like not change the pronouns, you just let it go to default and then you'd get on with the game. But clearly not in this case.
Every single solitary thing!
Was that it? Was that it? That was it. That was it. That was it. That just ended on a very long dramatic pause. Okay. I remain speechless over the level of anger, and I think I would probably just repeat myself if I carried on talking about that video. I don't understand where it's coming from, and I don't feel like he really explained anything. Honestly, to me, I don't know if this is the truth because it wasn't explained very well. It just feels like there's a deep transphobia going on, like a deep discomfort with anything to do with like being trans and gender non-conformity and things like that, and therefore pronouns, that he can't possibly look past a tiny element of inclusion being in this game. That's what it feels like. But I still don't get the level of anger. Anyway, and we've got some quotes. Effing current day California shit. Pink News has confirmed that pronouns are used outside of California. Yes, they are. Other social media users mock the gamers who apparently can't handle a single option in a video game. We've gone from people freaking out about a 7 out of 10 review score to grown men crying about pronouns in Starfield. Totally normal and quiet times on the internet, one user wrote. Totally normal. Nothing to see here. There's a tweet that said, I almost refunded my game when #Starfield asked me for pronouns. I still might. I'm annoyed about it. Anti-woke Starfield players being asked for their characters' pronouns at the start of the game.
I don't know what any of this shit is and I'm fucking scared.
I mean, they try and say that transphobia isn't a fear, but like when there's such confusing reactions and anger and things like that, it's difficult to not believe that there isn't an element of fear going on towards something they don't understand. Pronouns exist. Pronouns are a thing. You cannot get away from the fact that they are a thing in this world that everybody uses. They are not a trans-specific or LGBTQ+ specific thing, so focusing your anger towards something that you don't understand and don't like on pronouns is really not the way. I would try and describe your feelings more generally rather than just pronouns and woke ideology. It's all just like buzzwords, they don't make sense. Anyway, Starfield has so far received less than favourable reviews from critics who have called it a disjointed title with non-existent maps, aggravating inventory management, and a slow rollout of essential abilities. Sounds like there's a lot more to get frustrated about with the game than pronouns. Others have criticised the game's performance, saying that it often suffers from input lag and is unable to hold a stable... okay, cool, great. Technical stuff that goes over my head, but it sounds like if you're gonna do a review or you're gonna have a rant about a game, why not make it about the actual like game and the gameplay rather than a solitary option at the beginning? Please tell these guys never to play The Sims. That's incredibly inclusive now. You can even have top surgery scars and say what genders your character is attracted to. Ultimate wokeness. Jokes aside though, the level of anger and hatred in some people who are transphobic is kind of worrying and very uncomfortable, and when you see it coming out over such a tiny thing of pronouns, I go back to like my statement of I don't understand how that level of anger can be over this and only this. I feel like there's something else going on that isn't being articulated, or other points of anger, maybe not even towards the trans community, but it just like I don't. Unless he also, that's just what he's like, and he gets that angry over if he gets broccoli instead of cauliflower with dinner. I don't know. Regardless, very odd behaviour. Pronouns are not inherently trans, and pronouns are something that everybody uses in a part of this world, and you can't get away from that, so... There's a lot to get angry about if you don't like pronouns. Also, it's kind of going to be difficult to refer to you if you don't like pronouns, because that also includes things like I, we, you. Good luck. Yeah. Anyway, that's everything I wanted to say on this topic. If you liked the video, let me know down below and think about giving it a thumbs up or subscribing, but no pressure. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.